keeping you safe on the roads this morning. You may remember last week 10 TV showed you this ring camera video from a neighbor off Livingston Avenue. You can see that car nearly crashing into someone's house. And after that story aired, neighbors told us about another concerning spot on Livingston.
In fact, neighbors say it's an area where drivers frequently just drive through red lights. Transportation reporter Amy Steigerwald joins us from near that location. And Amy, this is definitely not something you want to see out there.
No, definitely not, and it's something that's on police radar as well. This is right at the intersection of Livingston and Roosevelt Avenue, where, as you mentioned, neighbors continually see drivers running the red light. And I stood out here last week, just to give you an idea, for probably about 15 minutes, around 9:30, and I did also see a couple drivers cut it close with that light.
My kids actually, when we first moved here, we would stop at the intersection, and my kids had a game to count how many cars would run the red light.
Berwick resident Tiffany Nobles and her entire family have seen their fair share of crashes at the intersection of East Livingston and Roosevelt Avenue. The main problem, she says, drivers running the red light.
I just know it's an everyday. Matter of fact, this morning, I was coming from school drop-off, and I was sitting at the light, and I watched 3 cars run the red light.
According to crash data from Columbus Police, officers have responded to more than a dozen crashes at this spot in the past year and a half. A handful of those crashes involved drivers on East Livingston driving through the red light, then crashing into drivers from Roosevelt who had the right of way.
Livingston Avenue, we usually have an average of 50 miles an hour.
Columbus Police tell us drivers are frequently going well above the speed limit on Livingston Avenue across the board. They've increased their presence near schools in certain areas to try and slow drivers down. The city of Columbus has multiple intersections off Livingston Avenue flagged as dangerous. But still, Nobles feels many are not getting the message.
But I think if people would just take some personal responsibility and slow down and pay attention.
All right, Amy, a question for you this morning. We know this is not the first time we've heard concerns about Livingston Avenue, but what are Columbus Police doing to make a difference in that area?
Yeah, so just yesterday they released their September corridors that they're going to focus on. This is in collaboration with the city's Vision Zero program. That is what focuses on, it basically flags dangerous intersections across the entire city. And one of the main areas is Livingston Avenue for September, which is where police will be increasing patrols again throughout this entire month. Brendan, Tracy?
All right, Amy, thanks so much. Remember, if you have a road or an intersection you're worried about in your neighborhood or on your commute, email us. Reach out to mornings@10tv.com with your concerns.